Hello, Colin. Nice to nice to finally meet you. It's been a few attempts to get this interview done, but here we are.
Yeah, we had to reschedule a couple times, but I'm glad we finally able to make it happen. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Really enjoying the album. I don't. It's such a diverse album. I don't know if there's really a song I can pick out that can go, that's my favorite. But I was just listening to. See, I drew a blank. It
You were
happened
listening
already.
to "Kill 'Em with Kindness" and "Only Light Ahead of Us" when I called you.
Yes. Um, wow. Like, what made you like? Was it initially going to just be a bunch of singular songs, and then you just decided to make them as one? Because it's almost 11 minutes in length, right?
Yeah, I think what happened was I kind of just started recording in Pro Tools, and I finished the first segment, and I was like, it's not over yet, and I started recording the second segment in the same Pro Tools session, and then after that, I was like, might as well keep going and make it like a three-part song. And I made an enormous Pro Tools session. It's like 50 gigabytes big, and it was a headache for my mixing engineer to grapple with, but he did an amazing job, Craig Bauer, and it turned out to be something really cool. One of my biggest passions is progressive rock and these like big long suites that they always do. So I've always wanted to do a big long suite, and this is my response to that.
Well, yeah, and just as the song sounds like it's coming to an end, then it transcends and goes a different direction, like progressive rock often does,
Yeah,
and it's just and it just builds and builds and builds, and then yeah, it's just it's just an amazing, it's just a great song.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Um, so you come from a pretty famous uh, line of work, what your father's done previously. How did that initially inspire you to want to do music, or was it kind of like, oh geez, dad's so popular, I don't know if I want to do that? Like, was there anything that was negative in his world, that made you say, I don't want to do that, or
Yeah,
anything that was just kind of like, because with his band Survivor, I mean, they saw such instant fame with Eye of the Tiger being on the soundtrack for Rocky 3,
right.
that sort of thing.
Yes, and yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword, as you alluded to. And he had a hit. His first hit, he was 19 years old. Vehicle with the band Ides of March.
Right.
So growing up, it's always kind of felt like a lot of pressure. I knew I wanted to be. I got into music right around eighth grade, high school, freshman year, and my there was always this pressure, like, okay, I got to write a hit song by age 19. And age 19 came and went, and no hits. And the industry is different, and I've learned to I'm at peace with it. I'm still trying to write great songs, and if one of them breaks through, then that's great. Otherwise, I'm happy just to release my art into the world. But no, I've always been inspired by my dad. Just to watch someone do something that they love so much and put such passion into it, and he performs with the same level of energy, whether it's in front of 20 people or 20,000 people, and that's something that I'll always take with me. And yeah, so big inspiration, my dad, and to have a career even half as great as his would be a blessing for sure.
Well, I mean, I've watched your videos, and you're not too shy on your watches. Like Smiles, uh,
Sure.
definitely definitely seems to be a big hit for being on YouTube anyway. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's done for you financially, like, but there's, I don't know, there's a different vibe with each song. Like,
Hmm.
was that on purpose, or was it just sort of your songwriting technique? It was just kind of where you were at in your headspace at that time, or
Yeah, I mean, I draw like from a ton of different influences. Like a lot of my favorite bands, two of my favorite bands, Ween and XTC. If you listen to
yeah.
any of their albums,
Yeah.
all of their songs are totally different from one another, from album to album, even on the particular album. So I don't like to discriminate any of my influences. If I want to write something that sounds like X, Y, or Z, I should be able to. And this being an independent release, I kind of just threw it all at the wall and see what sticks. And in this age of streaming, it kind of works out because you can target different genres of songs to different playlists on Spotify and on Apple, and different songs pick up steam. Like you were saying, Smile and My Secrets has done really well on Spotify, even though that isn't necessarily the vibe of the entire album. It's more like a gateway drug for people to get into the album and check out the other styles.
Gateway drug.
Exactly. And then if somebody picks up a Genesis influence or a XTC influence, and that makes them want to go check out those bands, then that's great, So I love indulging in my influences and casting them onto my listeners.
I actually got to see XTC open for the Police.
Oh yeah, what year?
Oh, now you're dating me. 80, somewhere in the 80s.
Probably before Andy Partridge had big stage fright moment and they stopped touring in the mid 80s.
Yeah. Well, they were just up and coming because they weren't headlining at this point. They were
right.
The opening act. So.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite groups.
Oh yeah, Dear God, that created so much controversy.
Yeah.
In the day, MTV actually pulled it from rotation because it caused so much controversy.
Hey, that controversy is good sometimes, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
But what a creative band. I mean, I've been a fan ever since I first heard them, and it's just,
super creative.
Yeah. Well, and so besides your father, which we've already alluded to, who else? Well, and there's XTC and what was it? Your father, or was it other musicians that you kind of go, well, I want to try this, or was it just something that you tried out in school?
Yeah, I think in 8th grade, everyone started getting interested in musical instruments, and I would draw like little logos for band names and stuff, and we would have fun. Just have fun kind of fantasizing about being in bands. Then eventually the fantasies turned into just jamming in the basement. And then eventually I pulled out like an 8-track tape recorder and I would record my friends and I's bands. And then eventually
you don't seem old enough to know what an 8-track is.
Yeah. Well, my dad had a bunch of old gear in the basement. So I just started dusting some of that stuff off, learning how to use it, eventually getting into Pro Tools and, computer audio, digital audio. And eventually I made a career out of engineering and producing other projects as well as my own. And just over the pandemic, I kind of came full circle and started focusing on my own songwriting and my own work again. Decided to put all the pieces together and release a full-length album, which Everything and Nothing came out about 2 months ago. And really proud of it. It's doing really well online. And I'm working on the next thing already. It's about momentum, just coming out with new stuff, trying to challenge myself to write better and better songs. And like you said, the industry's changed so much. It's just about, writing a great song and getting it out there and hoping that it gets some traction.
So is there any pressure to outdo this album? Because like I said, I don't know that there's a song on here where I go, oh, I don't like that, because they transcend and they fit in so nicely. Like, did you decide how the songs were going to play on the album, or was that somebody else that made that decision?
Pretty much. I had some input from like managers and friends and stuff, but yeah, the track listing is basically how I always envisioned it. And a lot of thought and labor went into that with like the song cycle and making sure that the themes kind of make sense, ending on the positive note that is Michiana, and kind of starting with the positive note of Smile, and then it kind of goes through these like roller coaster ups throughout the album. And I think it turned out into a really cool experience. I'm trying to get it pressed on vinyl right now, but the vinyl backlogs are like 18 months to get something printed, and there's a minimum of 1,000 to print at a time, and it's just a big thing. So really? Maybe might do like a Kickstarter to do the vinyl, but it's just such a pain with the supply chain issues with the vinyl right now. So I'm looking into it. Yeah. Because everybody's always asking about vinyl more than CD. You know, more people these days have record players than have CD players, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I grew up in the cassette era.
Yeah.
So I'm really dating myself now.
Well, even less.
Your dad and I are probably the same age.
Maybe. Yeah, he just turned he just turned 73, I think. So.
Oh, no, I'm only 50.
He's a little older. Yeah. But no, he's doing well. We just had a big concert the other night with his world stage concert with Mark Stein of Vanilla Fudge. We got to jam with him. Jennifer Batten, who's played with Michael Jackson and a bunch of other Jeff Beck and stuff. So I was able to perform at that show and sang background vocals for Mark Stein, and that was a great concert.
Wow, where did that take place?
It was at Pfeiffer Hall in Naperville, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice, like 400 seat theater. You're in Vancouver, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Getting cold up there?
Are you planning on coming up here in the future?
Yeah, definitely. We want to be able to get everywhere. It's just a matter of creating the demand and getting our booking agency to align with the venues and stuff. But spring, summer 2023, we're going to get out there for sure.
Well, if I'll make sure to let Melissa know that if you're coming up this way, give a shout out, and I'll plug the whatever show you're doing up here in Canada.
Cool. Awesome.
So, how do you come about, like, let's say Everything and Nothing? Like, where did that come from? Like, because it sounds, because you say it's progressive rock, but it also sounds very Beatlesque, if you will.
Yeah.
Like almost like inspired from the Beatles.
Absolutely.
It has that melody. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words. And,
I think a lot of
kind of give you accolade at the same time, because it's not easy to put a piece of music out, especially. Like, do you ever look back and go, geez, I might lose my audience with a 11-minute song?
No, I mean, I think that if someone's doesn't dig that one, they'll dig something else, and if they don't dig any of it, then they weren't meant to be my fan anyway. So I'm not gonna try to, chase after sunken cost or whatever.
A gun to their head.
Exactly.
You must music, like this.
Exactly. If you like it, you like it. I'm not trying to force anybody. But I think what you mentioned, the Beatles, they put such a solid groundwork and foundation on the pop rock world. Like every band that I'm influenced by, from King Crimson to Genesis to Prefab Sprout to XTC, they were all influenced by the Beatles. They'll all tell you, even Robert Fripp, he said he's turned on his car in the middle of a day in the life, and he's like, what is this? And it turned out to be the Beatles. And he was almost like embarrassed by himself. He's like, damn, these guys just keep pushing the envelope. And that inspired him to put together King Crimson and all this stuff. So yeah, the Beatles are a huge influence. But in terms of Everything and Nothing, I was listening to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway a lot, Genesis. Mm-hmm. And one song in particular, I think the Lamia, halfway through the album. And I would just have that thing on repeat. And that was a huge influence to that song. And it kind of just, like I said, I just kind of opened up Pro Tools and started writing, and didn't stop for about 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, I had this monstrosity of a song, and it kind of just it kind of grew legs and started walking on its own and turned into what it is.
Well, and the song Who I Am?
Who I Am, yep.
That's just a strip. That's just like, that's just a bare bones song. Going from the others that, and I don't know if you notice your plays on YouTube, but I kind of have that song on rotation. Like, if I had to pick a favorite song off the album, it would be that one. But the video's from so many years ago, right? That says it was 2016.
Yeah.
because I saw that, and then I'm looking at your recent pictures. I'm like, oh, he's so much older now.
Yeah. Yeah. So that song has been out. I put it out previously. I reworked it, re-sang it, remixed it, remastered it, and put it on the album because, again, I've never done a full length album before. So
Right.
kind of wanted this to be like my best of, if you can say that. And that's definitely one of my best songs, fan favorite, and I'm still proud of it. So I'm like, let's throw it on the album. I think it fits in, and
It does.
yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you.
Well, it's just a very easy listening, very, I think I already said this, very diverse,
Yeah.
eclectic kind of, but you can, but like you said, you can fit into a bunch of different elements for different people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird like chord changes and time signatures on other songs. That's nice to have a couple songs that are more straight down the pike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You'd mentioned Spotify and that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that they're very rewarding? Because I've talked to a lot of musicians. I have a lot of friends who are in bands, and they say that Spotify just doesn't cut it in terms of rewarding
Yeah.
an artist.
Right. So it's a loaded question. I think Spotify is a necessary evil. If you get into if you want to become an artist for the money, you're already in it for the wrong reasons. I would say in this day and age, Spotify is a useful tool. It's the easiest way to get for people to be able to listen to you. It's the easiest way to make yourself accessible. If you can be accessible to listeners and to fans, and just like I said, easy accessibility, then people can listen. They can become obsessed. They can come to shows. They can buy merchandise. They can become a super fan. They can listen to, they can be your fans for life. If you make no money off Spotify, but it leads to a fan base that you can go to any city in America and sell out a decent sized theater, then I would argue that it's all worth it, because even though you're not making royalty money from streaming, you've got people in person buying merchandise, buying tickets, and growing buzz, and maybe you get a licensing deal with a TV show or a movie. And so Spotify is kind of like a door, like an open door,
Mm.
I would say they're not exploitative, because it is a good opportunity to get on Spotify, make your music accessible, and open the door to the next thing. But you shouldn't expect to make $1 million off of Spotify streaming. That's just setting yourself up for failure.
I appreciate because the most I've heard about Spotify is mostly negative. So it's nice
Yeah.
to hear that different viewpoint on that. And
Yeah.
I totally agree. If you go into any kind of art expecting to become a millionaire or a billionaire, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Totally.
Because you're not writing from the heart. You're not creating that element just for the love of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I do appreciate, I know what you're saying about Spotify, but I appreciate having it. It's a good tool. It's a marketing tool, I think, at the end of the day, and potential to make some money off of it, but it's more for just easy accessibility. Everybody has it. It's universal, and it leads to bigger and better opportunities.
Yeah, like your next album. This one, I mean, you said a while back that you've already got some songs in the works, but
Yeah.
this album just came out 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But you've already got something over here on the back burner.
Yep.
So you're just constantly working new songs and
Yeah. You have to, because this previous album has been 2 years in the making. So even though the album just came out, I've been listening and obsessing over this song for the past 2 years. So in order to keep it fresh for me, when you put out the thing that I'm already sick of, you know what I mean? So I've got to keep things fresh in my own mind.
Yeah.
So that's when you pick up the pen and paper and you start writing new stuff. And yeah, I've got maybe 9 or 10 things in the works, and that'll be hitting the studio probably next year to work on that. And I'm really excited about some of these new songs too.
is it going to be as transcendent, or are you trying to stay on one focal path, or are you
It'll
trying to branch out and do some new stuff, or
it'll definitely have
are
some.
you going to rap at all?
Probably not. There is a little hip hop influence in some of the tunes, even on the first album. But no, it's going to be. I would say that the new album will be everything I've written within the span of like, from like present day. Whereas this past album is like some songs are 10 years old.
Oh,
But
okay.
the new album's going to be probably more cohesive, more of a theme running throughout, because it's all stuff that I've written in the past like 6 months, and I'm continuing to write now. So it's going to be more mature, I think. And I mean, listen, I love the last album too, but it's just going to keep evolving. That's what you got to do.
Well, yeah, like you said, if it's been 2 years, even though it just came out 2 months ago,
Yeah.
that's a long time to be sitting on those songs,
Right.
And for you to just keep at it, that's the right approach. Because otherwise, you get stuck.
Yeah.
Because then you gotta find that creative element again.
Yeah. And you can't get stuck in the trap of putting out an album and, not getting a big radio hit and just hanging up your hat and giving up and say, well, I tried my best, because very, very few bands make it on their first attempt. So,
Yeah.
I'm in this for the long haul. That's another reason why I put it out under my own name, because I have a bad habit of putting out albums under band names or pseudonyms and just abandoning ship, after the first single. And it's like, with my name, I can't run away from that. So I'm in this for the long haul. I'm going to working on the second album. And my theory is, just keep writing good songs, try to write better and better songs. And eventually something's going to catch on, and it already has. So I'm really encouraged.
So what previous bands have you exited?
Yeah. Let me think. I was in a progressive rock band called Lobster Newberg when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
And we did 2 albums. We did a US tour, and that kind of fizzled out because, well, lots of different reasons, but I wanted to go in more of a pop rock direction. And yeah, just like other projects that never really left the ground. But I'm finally, putting it out under my own name, and I'm confident, and there's no running away from that.
Well, no, I mean, because people say, well, it's all you. This is all on you. Sure, you got a backup band, but it's your name, and
Right.
yeah. And what kind of, well, I guess I've already asked that. What kind of pressure does that put on you, though? Do you feel you have, again, getting back to the whole limelight thing, like, do you feel like you have to, has anybody said to you, geez, you gotta be as, you kind of already answered that.
Well, no, I mean, if you wanted
Going back to, are you going to be able to, be as popular as your father? That sort of thing. Like, you already said that you'd put that pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I had put that pressure on myself back before I was, because my dad's first hit was at 19, so that was always like the goal, 19. Yeah. And no, I've come to peace with that. I think it's not a realistic, a goal in this day and age. And what does a Billboard top hit even mean anymore? I'd rather, there's other ways to find success in the industry. And I think more and more, bands that are mature and adult contemporary type bands like myself can find success later in their careers. And, I'm not slowing down, but, in terms of like genres and stuff, my manager, my great manager, shout out to JB Mercado, he wants me to write a radio hit. And I think that would be good, capture a big wide audience. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to, sacrifice my artistic integrity just to get something on the radio.
Yeah.
The perfect world, I would be able to write something interesting, unique, something that pushes the boundaries of pop and rock music, and get on the radio with that. And that's kind of the goal. I don't want to just succumb to the least common denominator. I kind of want to do what I do best and put my stamp on it, and hope that something picks up steam. with my stamp on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like a band up here, Bare Naked Ladies,
Hmm.
if you only listen to the radio, you think they only made one song.
Yeah.
If I had $1 million,
Right.
you know. But if you listen, if you pay attention, they've got like countless albums out, and they've
Hmm.
had some great music on all of them. But
Yeah.
if you just listen to the radio, you think they've only got that one song. And
Yeah. And sometimes,
that's
yeah,
the
sometimes
sad thing
one
about the
song.
industry, though. Sometimes
Yeah.
is they just keep rehashing.
It's true. I mean, sometimes all you need is one big song to get on the radar, the public radar, and then you've got, they've got diehard lifelong fans that are totally intimate with their whole discography, and it just took one big song for, so that's definitely the dream for sure, is to hit the charts with something that I can be proud of, and you know gain a wide audience. And my whole goal is just to be able to share my music with the world. So as much as I can do that, the better.
So what's your album? What's your album on now? What I mean, you can't. You're having troubles releasing it on vinyl. So is
Yeah,
it just available digitally right now, or?
Yeah, right now it's just digital. It's on all the streaming services. We're gonna try to do vinyl, and yeah, we have CDs at the shows available, but not yet on like online or anything like that. Just digital. But I did want to mention that for any of your listeners in the Wisconsin or Chicago area, I'm playing at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino on November 3rd, opening for the Smithereens featuring Marshall Crenshaw, which was rescheduled from a few months ago, and that'll be rescheduled to November 3rd, Potawatomi Casino in
the
Milwaukee.
Smithereens are back together?
That's right. Yeah, with Marshall Crenshaw as lead vocalist.
Yeah, because their lead singer passed away, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's yeah, wow. I didn't know they were back together. I didn't know they kind of reformed, if you will. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, and they sound better than ever.
Wow. So you're going to be opening the show?
Yep.
Is it just going to be? Are you just doing an acoustic set, or are you going to be doing?
No, I've got
a band there.
Yeah, I have a 4-piece band. Matt Hines on lead guitar, Alex Zaravicka on drums, and Kevin Campbell on bass and vocals. And we're 4-piece, and that's like the core band. So anytime you see me live, unless it says like acoustic set, that'll be the band for sure.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty cool. We've got like the lights and the stage production, all this stuff. So you can go to colinpeterik.com to stay abreast of all tour dates and all that good stuff.
Nice. So is this how many shows have you been playing shows this year?
Yeah, we've done a handful, maybe like a dozen, mostly around the Midwest area, just to support the release. But we're expecting to do more, leading up into the 2023 like festival season.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of festivals do you hope to hit?
Hopefully,
you're just going to put your name out there and hope for the best?
Well, I do have a great booking agency, Jim Lenz at TKO Artists, and he manages a ton of artists, a ton of festivals, and so we're looking to get attached to some tours, some more opening acts, and also some headlining shows in 2023. So we are just have our fingers crossed that all the stars align and it works out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Get on a big tour and come do a small tour of Canada. Make sure you come up to Vancouver.
That would be great. Yeah.
Then we can do an in-person interview.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Anything else you'd like to add at all?
No, I would just say, all things said about Spotify, the as trivial as it seems, the listeners and the numbers on Spotify, these are the kind of metrics that agencies and festivals and labels look at, even though probably not the most important things they should look at. It at the end of the day, they're looking at numbers. They're looking at Facebook numbers, Instagram numbers, and it's the thing about the industry I hate the most, is that these meaningless numbers are so important, but they are important. So anyone listening, go check me out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and share with your friends if you enjoy the music. It's very eclectic. if you are a fan of music, you'll probably find something on the album that you like. So check it out, share it with your friends, and thanks for the support. Really appreciate it.
Well, I'll put this in an article, and I will have some of your videos, some of your music in the article as well. So
Great. Awesome.
so people can get an idea, especially everything and nothing. Let's see how many people like that one as much as I did.
Yeah, that's a really cool song. Appreciate it. Alrighty.
Well, I appreciate the music, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that it finally worked out where we could do this.
Me too. Alrighty. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye.